I found 3 cages unlocked, and I told Paul I didn't want him in the snake house anymore unless I'm here.
It's your duty and responsibility to see that the cages are all checked and locked before visitors are allowed in the building. Isn't that right?
But I did that, Thad. I always make a security check before opening my doors to visitors. And when I made my routine check this morning, the cages were all locked. And I'll verify before anyone that I'm telling the truth.
All right, George, let's not argue about it. But there's something mighty peculiar going on around here. I wish I could put my finger on what it is. Bill,
Yeah?
Henry, Stumpy, Grey Wolf, let's go over to my office. I want to have a talk with you fellows.
Well, it's the next morning now, and George, the keeper of the snake house, walks briskly to get about his early morning chores of caring for the reptiles. George seems to be in a happier frame of mind than he's been for several days, and he hums as he walks up the short stairs to the main doors of the building. He finds the door locked and congratulates himself that Paul is at last listening to reason. He takes out his keys, selects the right one, fits it into the lock, and opens the door. Suddenly, he stops short.
Oh, the cobra's loose.
He jumps back to escape the cobra. His feet stumble and he falls while the cobra moves rapidly by. There on the concrete steps of the snake house, George lies for a moment stunned, while the cobra with hardly an effort makes his getaway. The slithering ribbon of death moves out of the building, across the road, and vanishes into the underbrush. Then George rouses from his unconsciousness, seeking to pierce the mental fog.
Oh, my head. Oh, what happened? Oh, the cobra. The door's open. The cobra's gone.
Hello, Gate 1.
This is Gate 1, Chief. We're closing the gates now.
Good. Break out your rifles and stand by. The alarm means that whatever's escaped is now out of the building and onto the grounds. Don't let anybody in. Gate 2. This is Thad Pearson. You get that alarm?
Yeah, Chief. We've got the gates locked and the rifles broken out.
Good. I'm going to the snake house. Howie, call the rangers and the sheriff's men. If that cobra's escaped out of the building, we're going to need help.
Right away, Chief.
How's the head feeling now, George?
Mighty tender where I struck it on the stair rail, Bill. That concrete's awfully hard.
Yeah, I can imagine. You better stay here while we track the snake. Thad, how much of a start does the cobra have on us?
Oh, about an hour and a half, Bill.
Not so good. He could get plenty far by this time, especially if he kept in high gear. How about a mongoose, Thad? You have any here?
No, Bill, we don't have a mongoose. The zoo at Silver City has one, though.
That's 50 miles. Thad, would you take my car and get that mongoose?
All right, Bill. I'll make it as quickly as I can.
Well, this thing gives me the creeps, Bill. Any second I expect to see the cobra's head pop up under my nose.
It could happen that way, pal. You just stay behind me and keep your shotgun ready.
Snake leaves plenty good trailing ground. It's good for us there not be rain for many days now. Dust help make snake trail easy to find.
That there cobra feller weren't much interested in covering his trail. All he cared about was getting for the faraway places. That's right, old-timer. I'd say offhand that the faraway place could be that barn over on the other side of the road.
Yeah, I think you're right, Bill. The trail's heading straight for the road.
Yep. Sure as I'm a foot high, that there reptile's in that barn.
We go in barn after Cobra and kill him?
No, Grey Wolf. Let's let the mongoose do that trick. We wouldn't stand a chance against that killer if he caught us off guard. But a mongoose is made for that kind of work. You said it, Sonny. Only one thing faster than a cobra, and that's a mongoose. Only one thing faster than a mongoose, and that's grease lightning. You fellas keep circling the barn and make sure the cobra stays inside. I'll send the sheriff and his boys over to help you keep him in the barn.
Well, where are you going, Bill?
Back to the snake house to make sure everything's all right.
You never met Pedro before, have you, Bill?
No, I haven't, George.
Talk to the man, Pedro.
He's quite a guy, isn't he? How are you feeling after your fall, George?
Well, that goose egg on my head's gone down to a pigeon size by now. I'll be all right.
Good. Well, I got to be getting back now. I've got the cobra trapped in an old barn on the other side of the highway. By the way, George, see that the locks on all the doors are set, will you? For a while, I don't think it's enough just to have the latch on.
Okay, Bill. Will do.
See you later, George. Hello, Paul. Your dad back yet?
He just drove up, Bill. Here he comes now. He's got the mongoose in a cage.
We're all set, Bill. All we've got to do now is get on the scene and open the cage. The mongoose will do the rest.
Fine. I'll have the squad cars brought up so their spotlights can be used to light up the inside of the barn.
Good idea. Now remember, I don't want the mongoose to kill our cobra. I just want him to tire him out. Then we'll step in and stop the fight. I've got the equipment for it with me.
Okay. I'll get the cars in position, then we can get started.
Hurriedly, the way is prepared for the duel between two mortal enemies, King Cobra and Mongoose. Bill turns the spotlight on to illuminate the inside of the barn by beaming the lights through the large center door. Then Thad and Bill walk toward the barn. Thad is ready to release the mongoose in an instant. Bill's ready with his shotgun in case the cobra attacks before they're ready. The mongoose becomes frantic with excitement.
He's got scent of the cobra, Bill.
Good. Let him go, Thad.
Look at him go for the barn.
Hey, he stopped dead.
No wonder. Look where that big snake is, just inside the door. Boy, it's a good thing we didn't try to go in after him. He'd have nailed one of us for sure. Look, the battle's on.
This'll be short. The cobra's on unfamiliar ground. He can't put up a good fight. Did you see that? The cobra missed the little animal only by a fraction of an inch.
That's the way he fights. At close range, a hair's breadth distance. Boy, with perfect coordination.
Wow. The mongoose raked the cobra's neck that time with his teeth. Boy, how that little fella can weave and dodge. Back and forth. Back and forth. Back and... Hey, there. He's teasing the snake.
The cobra got him. No, he didn't. He just missed the mongoose by a hair again.
The cobra's getting woozy, Bill. He must have struck at the mongoose about 24 times by now.
I'll get him when you give the word, Thad.
Well, my main concern is that the mongoose doesn't close in for the fatal bite.
You mean where he grabs the snake by the back of the head and breaks the cobra's neck?
Well, that's it, Henry.
I think we better close in now, Thad. Snake's getting pretty tired.
Yes. Let's take both of them. Come on. Now.
Okay. Careful. Watch it. Take it easy. Watch it. Watch it. There we go. Come on. There we are. We got it.
We've got both of them caged and ready to go back. Thanks to you, Bill, and to Stumpy Grey Wolf and Henry.
That's all right, Thad. Say, would you be interested in finding out who's been unlocking the cages in the snake house?
Would I be interested? I should say so. Who is it?
Yeah, who is it?
Well, I'd rather it was demonstrated to you. just who it is, then tell you. Let's all go over to the snake house, shall we? Quiet, Pedro. George, let me have your keys, will you? I want to try an experiment.
Sure, Bill. Here you are.
Thanks. Now, how in the world is using them keys going to show who let the cage doors open?
Well, quiet, Stumpy. Let Bill finish what he started.
What are you going to do now, Bill?
Yeah, that's a good question. My curiosity is sticking out a mile.
Okay, Pedro. You can go along if you want. Now, fellas, just watch as I go along and check the locks on the cage doors. Uh-oh, there's one on the bottom I didn't check.
Hey, Bill, look above you. Pedro's opening the cage door.
There, my friends, is your mysterious cage opener, sitting right on my shoulders.
Pedro. But how in the world did you discover that, Bill?
Well, Thad, in watching George opening the cages, I noticed each time how intently interested Pedro was in the way George was handling the latches on the doors. Of course, we all know the disconcerting habit monkeys have in mimicking human beings. So I got an idea and thought I'd test it out. And as you see, it worked.
Well, that throws me for a loop. George, well, please accept my sincere apologies for ever questioning your integrity.
Oh, that's all right, Chief. You're not the only one at fault. Paul.
Yeah?
I want to tell you how sorry I am for misjudging you. Will you forgive a crabby old man like me? Oh, there. There, lad.
Hey, look. They're hugging each other.
I guess this thing had us all on attention. But thanks to you, Bill, and to your rangers, the mess is straightened out.
Oh, it's all in the day's work, Thad. By the way, what are you going to do with Pedro now that his monkey shines have been exposed?
Maybe we'd better put him over on Monkey Island and retire him for the rest of his natural life.
Hey, Dad, just think what would have happened if he'd opened the cages in the lion house.
That's right, Paul. Only I don't know that a cobra is any less dangerous than a lion. But at least he's not so loud. However, I'm sure glad that neither George or Paul were guilty of opening up those cage doors. Aren't you? We'll see you next week for more adventure with
Ranger Bill!
Hi, fellas and gals. Ranger Bill again, stepping in here for less than a minute to invite all of you out there to another half hour of adventure next week at this special spot on your radio dial. We've gathered a pile of stories for you with mystery and adventure and all kinds of excitement, and we don't want you to miss a single one. So next time, call up your friends or get together with them and join all of us Rangers for a session of fighting forest fires, grappling with grizzly bears, or just plain trying to help somebody out. We're sure you'll enjoy the story, and you might just learn something that'll be of real help to you in later life. So, next week, be sure to listen.